Welcome to the Inside Chudleigh House School podcast, where we explore inspiring stories from our school community. I'm your host, Zara Chantunya, and today we are honored to be joined by Mr. Simon Mulenga Mwila, a proud parent of Chudleigh House School. Mr. Mwila, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you very much. I'm grateful.
To give you a bit more insight on how influential this man sitting next to me is, Mr. Mwila began his legal journey by studying for a Bachelor of Laws at the Zambia Open University. He went on to practice the legal practice qualifying examination at ZIALE, which is a very influential and significant milestone for any legal practitioner. He later pursued a Master of Laws at the University of Zambia, and currently he's expanding his expertise by studying for an MBA at Zambia Center for Accountancy Studies. We'll hear more about his journey, life experiences, and what inspired him to choose Chudleigh House School for his child. Let's dive in. So before we go any further, before we get to the now, let's look at the then.
Yes,
so
please.
How would you describe your early life and your childhood?
I describe my early life and childhood as not too difficult, not too easy. Of course, raised by a single mother who's been so much instrumental to my siblings and I. I'm a second born in a family of 5, so she has to sacrifice a lot to see to it. Of course, my father played a role as well at some point, then mom played a very vital role. Yeah.
So what were some of the biggest personal challenges that you faced along your life, would you say?
To be honest with you, one of the biggest challenges that I've ever faced as a young person is, first of all, growing up in an environment where you draw little or no inspiration from people. Then secondly, I found myself joining wrong groups and I almost lost it. I started drinking, I started smoking, I became alcoholic. But as of today, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm a very sober gentleman.
That's very inspiring to hear.
Zara, yes.
So with your environment, who or what inspired you to get into the field of law?
It's a very, very funny thing, you know. I never thought I would be a lawyer. Actually, my calling was I wanted to be a doctor or maybe an accountant, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I really loved, I wanted to be an accountant. But growing up, where we grew up from, I grew up in Matero. So my mother used to work for the judiciary. So I used to be respected by people when they said, those are lawyers' children. So I thought, how about I go for this same profession? But eventually I love the profession because it feels good to be a problem solver. So I find comfort in solving people's problems. So I decided to study law because I've been a problem solver. I always solve problems in my community. Even in Matero, I would engage in various community works with my colleagues just to make sure that our neighborhood is well secured, it's clean, the drainage system is well running. So I've been a problem solver. That's why I chose law.
So earlier you mentioned that you did originally have a love for accounting. So in your field of law, do you do corporate law or is it a different? I'm just assuming.
Yeah, I do. I hold a master's in corporate law. So
wow.
we do. Of course, there's little accounting that we did at ZIALE, and I found accounting in during my MBA. But it's not that complicated. Yeah, I've never been a math person, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've tried by all means to dodge it, but I find it when I'm advancing in most. I love school. Yeah,
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So how did you manage to balance your studies while working towards your law degrees and now your master in business accounting?
Okay, it takes a lot of discipline. I explained to you that there was a time when I was a drunkard. I used to drink a lot. I used to smoke a lot as a young person. So these are vices that really derailed me from progressing. And without indulging in those activities, I think it has been very easy for me to progress as a human being. On my personal level, I have done quite well for myself. I know self-praise is bad, but I think at 34 I'm okay. I've tried coming from a background where we are from. Yeah. So it's not been easy. It takes discipline. Mostly it's discipline and knowing what you want to achieve. So I got to know that I'm supposed to be in this place. I need to achieve this and that for me to get to a certain point in life. Yeah.
You know, I find your early life story very inspiring. I think it's very telling of how driven you were and how driven you are to reach your goals and the places you want to be.
Yeah.
So moving to your professional career,
Yes.
to what you're basically doing now. Passing the legal practice examination is a very, very tasking.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
So
it is.
how did you how did you prepare for it initially?
Okay, I would be honest with you. You know, starting from grade 1 to 7, I was an A+ student. I was very well-to-do pupil. I used to pass number 1, number 2, 1, 2. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
But Ziale humbled me. I actually passed a third attempt. And I passed a third attempt not because I didn't understand, because of certain circumstances. You know, I had to pay for my own fees. I was looking after my family. Then I was also my wife was expecting a child. So, you know, to divide that time, I never gave it the attention that it deserved. But we managed to do our level best, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very good.
We managed to do our level best. So we balanced, and here we are.
So now that you're pursuing your MBA, what are your goals with combining law and business? Is there any side jobs that you want to do basically to expand your...
Actually, you know, when you talk of law is law practice. I want to set up my own law firm. So law, you need to run it like a business. It's a business, actually. I mean, lawyers, we offer a service to society. Their clients who work in, they give us their problems and we solve them, we bill them, we make our money. Right. So you need to have that business aspect of it. So you need to attach your legal mind and the business aspect so that you can manage a successful law firm that will stand the test of time, the way it has been with some corporate law firms that I get to know of around Lusaka.
So now let's talk about your Chudleigh House experience and basically how you're here right now.
Yes.
So what exactly drew you to Chudleigh House School? Or basically, why did you choose Chudleigh House School for your child?
You know, I had my nieces at this school. I had my nieces who were at this school, and they were very intelligent and very smart. So when I was writing my grade 12, I was actually at Munali. That's why I wrote my grade 12. And my friends back then used to go to other learning institutions and whatnot. My nieces said, come to Chudleigh House. I think they're offering tuitions back then for secondary school. So that's how I started coming. I made it a hobby. You know, I'm a person who never liked school at some point, especially after I left Mature Boys, where I did my junior secondary and went to Munali. I never attended class. So my nieces were very smart, and they would say, Uncle, you should come to us. So I came here, I got the best, and I forecast. At the end of the day, I had 9 points in my grade 12 because of the knowledge. I knew nothing. I was blank, I was very blank. So when time came, I became a parent and said, I need a school for my child. I remembered of Chudleigh House because of the quality education and what they imparted in my head. Because imagine someone who hasn't attended grade 10 to 12 seriously, and you go in an exam, you have 9 ones here and there. Yeah. It means the school really knows what they're doing. And to me, that's one of the reasons why I chose Chudleigh House.
So what has your experience been so far as a parent?
It's been awesome. I can see my son is becoming more social because he's an only child. At the moment, we have only one child with my wife. So he's become more open. He's very intelligent. He can read. He's a clever boy and well disciplined. His manners are on point. He's a well-to-do boy. When you come to my house, Zara, there is nothing like a child writing on the wall. Our house is very clean, So there's no wall writing. There's no wall painting. He's got his study room where he does his work, and every time he knocks off, he knows it's time to do homework. Does his thing on his tablet, and what Wi-Fi is there. I think it's a school that keeps him busy because we leave home as early as 6. We are here by 7 due to traffic, 7:30. Knock off again, reach home 17:30, 18. He gets to go through his homework and appreciate what he was taught at school. It's a very good school.
Yeah, definitely. So from your perspective, what makes Chudleigh House School different from other schools in Zambia?
Zara, I went to a government school, So, of course, the quality of education that's offered here, I think it's top-notch. Not even I think, I know it's top-notch.
Right.
Yeah, their reading programs are on point. And I have friends who have been parents at this school for some time. And when they heard that I'm actually planning to bring my child here, they equally said, that's a very good school. I already had Chudleigh on my mind and had a list of schools, so I did consult. And
so that definitely
Chudleigh House is a good school. Yeah, it's a good school. Yeah. It provides quality education.
So what advice would you give to students who are currently at Chudleigh House School from your own perspective?
Well, to the young ones, especially those that are in junior secondary or they are in high school, you need to study hard. You need to focus on your education. Your parents are sacrificing a lot to see to it that you guys have quality education. And I know sometimes we easily lose it. Huh? I have a very sad story that I would like to share with you. You know, I was expelled from a school, and that's not something that someone should be proud of. I was expelled when I was at Mature Boys for beer drinking, and it's a very bad thing. And you know, when you get to meet friends, I know there are pupils here who are being sponsored by their guardians and all that. But the problem is that we get to forget as young people where we come from and what we believe in or what drives us. So you're easily swayed by your friends who have their lives figured out. We've got friends as we are growing who their parents have set their life all the way to, they'll be CEOs. You're in grade 7 with them right now. They're already CEOs for a very big company. So life is a single player game. Understand your purpose. What is your motive? Yes, these friends that we have now at high school, they are very nice. They are cool guys. But eventually you graduate and what you start believing in, what you stand for in society will start drifting apart. So you shouldn't really spoil what lays ahead of you for something that's temporal now. Yes, these are good connections you're having. There are strong bonds that you're building with colleagues, but choose good company. Choose good company and put in your level best if your parents are sacrificing so much. It's not easy. It's not a government school. This school, we go through a lot as parents to see to it that a child is given quality education. Yeah. As the saying goes, education is the best equalizer of life opportunities. So I feel when you're given that opportunity, utilize it as a young person.
Yeah, I think that's spoken to me personally. Yes, that's definitely spoken to me.
Yeah.
So based off what you've said, some students definitely do not realize the opportunity, the rare opportunity that they have to be at this school.
Yes.
You know, good things are taken for granted.
Yes.
So what would you say to them?
It's time for them to reflect. Go back to the drawing board. It's never too late. I made a decision to come to Chudleigh House in the 11th hour, you know, when I was already in grade 12. Actually, that was grade 12, term 1, when I started the intensive tuitions at this school. Like, I would be given a lot of work, taught to study, answer exam, pass papers, they mark. It was a very serious thing. So I feel it's never too late for anyone to just turn around. Start drifting up away. You know what you stand for. What do you want to be in life? Yeah. What do you want to be in life? Some will be lawyers, some will be doctors, some will be teachers, some will be nurses, just the mechanics, some will be entrepreneurs. And unfortunately, some will not make it in life. That's how it is. But as you are working hard as young people and you're given such quality education, I feel there's need for one to just focus and give it their level best.
Right.
And not be swayed by friends, swayed by bad habits. At 15, I was already drinking, and I stopped drinking at 21. Yeah. So I know as young people, you really want to fit in and be accepted by your friends. Excel, it's dope. Buta, it's lacquer. So that your friends can accept you. But that's not how life should be. Those are just temporal things that you have. There's more to life, Zara, than what the eyes can see, than all these friendships that we are creating while we're still in school. There's more we can achieve. Yeah.
Yes. So you mentioned your son earlier.
Yes.
So if he were to follow in your professional footsteps, for example, if he were to pursue an MBA or if he were to become a lawyer, what would your advice be to him?
You see, when it comes to careers, I think you need to follow your heart. So I wouldn't force law on him. Of course, he now has passion for it. He says, I also want to be a lawyer. My advice to him is to love to read, because you can't be a lawyer who's lazy. You need to read. It involves a lot of work.
Yeah.
Clients give you their instructions, give you their problems, what you solve. You need to have a solution to their problems. So you just have to make sure that you're well informed. You have your arguments are on point. When you appear before a judge, you know what you're doing, and there you go. Yeah.
That's the
So
best advice.
he needs to actually appreciate reading and understand history. I loved history and English when I was in school, and I had ones in those, so I understand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's very good advice. So what's one life lesson you have learned that you think every young person should know?
shouldn't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to take risks. I feel as a young person, risks are good. Professional risks, that's what I mean. Yeah, there are times, like I quit my job at one point before I was a lawyer. I used to work in the government. And when I was quitting as a civil servant, I asked my parents, I asked friends, I want to quit. Why do you want to quit? I told them I'm not feeling this anymore. There were a lot of words being said by naysayers. Family would try to talk you down. But if you know what you want and what you believe in, just take those risks. Life is about risks. So I would advise that if you want to take risks, take risks. Yeah. Professional risks, not risks to go and steal from your parents, not risks to start dodging from school. No, I mean risks that bring business opportunities. Seize them. Yeah. I mean, when you succeed, you smile. When you fail, you learn. Become wiser. That's what I believe in, Zara.
I'm definitely leaving here with more than I anticipated. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mr. Mwila, for
Zara,
making the time in your busy schedule to just come here and give the listeners your insight. We really do appreciate it.
No, I'm very grateful, and thanks to Chudleigh management, and you are great, Zara. I didn't even ask what you want to be when you complete school. What's your profession? You're well spoken, eh? I love your confidence. I love the way you express yourself.
Thank you very much.
I think you can make a good lawyer.
Yeah, definitely. That's what my uncle says.
You make a good lawyer. I see a lawyer in you, actually. I see counsel in you. Yeah. So, have you ever thought of being a lawyer?
Definitely. At some point in my life, I have thought about it.
Or you want to be a journalist or run your own media?
I do want to pursue a career in international relations. Okay. So that's something that I'm very passionate about.
I see.
So, but definitely something that would require me to be very practical as well. Because I'm not someone that likes to just work like sitting at a desk all day. I'm someone that likes things that are very practical, something that's very...
You're like me, I hate the office, huh?
Yeah.
I hate the desk. You know, I just have to be on the streets running. I'm at court, I'm moving. I feel when I sit there, I feel I'm not using myself. So it's good. You should try and do law. Yeah. And I'll be ready, available to mentor you. Definitely. Where you need help. I can guide you and say, no, let's move this way, let's move that way. And I have no doubt you'll make a perfect lawyer. We need more eloquent and smart people like yourselves, young visionary leaders.
Thank you very much.
This is what you do, yeah.
Thank you very much. So do not forget, your story is not only inspiring, but also a powerful reminder of what dedication, education, and vision can achieve. We are proud to have you part as the Chudleigh House School family.
Thank you very much.
We are very proud.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
Yes. And to the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see more of the Inside Chudleigh House School podcast, go to Spotify or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Don't forget to follow our socials on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.